The Rapture Timeline, hidden in Jesus' words. Have you ever wondered if Jesus left us a secret timeline, hidden in his own words, pointing to the moment of the rapture? Imagine for a moment that every warning, every parable, every prophetic word he spoke carried more than just meaning. It carried a divine sequence, a roadmap for those who are watching and listening with spiritual eyes. The truth is, the rapture isn't random. It isn't something that happens by chance or according to human schedules. Jesus spoke with precision, with purpose, and with a clear order that if we pay attention, we can begin to understand. I want to speak to your heart today because this is urgent. There is hope for those who are ready, and a warning for those who are not. The signs are already unfolding in our world, and the footsteps of the bridegroom are closer than many realize. Wars rage, nations tremble, false prophets rise, and yet amidst the chaos there is a quiet preparation happening, a hidden period that Jesus described in ways many miss. But if we study his words carefully, we can see the outline, the rhythm, the timing of what is to come. In the next few moments, I want to walk with you through these words, not as a lecture, but as a conversation from one believer to another. We'll uncover the hidden clues, the parables, and the prophecies that point directly to the rapture. We'll explore the signs that mark the approach of this glorious event, and we'll understand the silent periods Jesus spoke about that test our faith and readiness. By the end of this journey, you'll see a timeline revealed in his words, a timeline designed to prepare, to awaken, and to fill your heart with hope and expectation. This is not just knowledge. It's a call to live with eyes wide open, to stand ready, and to embrace the promise of being caught up with him. Part 1. The Foundation. Jesus' Warnings and Promises. Before we can understand the timeline of the rapture, we need to build a foundation in Jesus' words. Everything begins with his warnings and promises, spoken with clarity to guide his followers through the last days. Jesus did not speak in vague generalities when it came to the end times. Every word, every parable, every prophetic statement was delivered to prepare us for what is coming. In Matthew 24, he opens the conversation with a question. Tell us, when will these things be, and what will be the sign of your coming, and of the end of the age? Notice that he links his coming with the end of the age. He doesn't leave us in uncertainty. He invites us to watch, to discern, and to remain vigilant. The warnings Jesus gave are both sobering and encouraging. Wars, rumors of wars, natural disasters, moral decay, and persecution are all part of the signs he described. These are not meant to scare us. They are meant to awaken us. When we see these signs, we are meant to remember his words and recognize that the timeline he has set is moving forward. The foundation of understanding the rapture is recognizing that Jesus has already mapped the sequence. Nothing surprises him, and nothing catches him off guard. He wants his followers to be spiritually prepared, to stand firm in faith, and to live with hope, not fear. But Jesus didn't stop at warnings. He gave promises. He promised that the faithful will be gathered to him, that no one who belongs to him will be left behind, and that the hope of the rapture is real and imminent. In John 14, he tells his disciples that he goes to prepare a place for them, and that he will come again to receive them unto himself. This is the ultimate promise, that those who are ready will meet him in the air. By holding on to these promises and aligning our lives with his instructions, we anchor ourselves to a firm hope. The foundation, then, is this. Jesus' words are precise, intentional, and full of guidance. He wants us to understand the sequence of events, not to obsess over dates, but to live in readiness. He teaches us to discern the times and to measure our lives against his instructions. The rapture is not an abstract idea. It is a promised event, hidden in plain sight in his words, waiting for the spiritually alert to recognize it. Building this foundation of understanding is the first step towards seeing the timeline he has laid out. Part 2. Hidden clues in parables and prophecies. Once we establish the foundation, we can begin to uncover the hidden clues Jesus left in his parables and prophecies. The beauty of his teaching is that it works on multiple levels. To the casual listener, a parable may seem like a simple story, but for those who seek understanding, it is a code, a map, a hidden guide to the events leading to the rapture. The parable of the 10 virgins is one of the clearest examples. 10 virgins went out to meet the bridegroom. 5 were ready with oil in their lamps, and 5 were not. The moment of his arrival was sudden and unexpected. This parable is not just about spiritual preparedness. It contains a timeline element. The faithful are those who watch and wait, ready to be caught up the instant he comes. The parable of the fig tree adds another layer. Jesus told his disciples that when the fig tree's leaves appear, you know that summer is near. He compares the signs of the times to the fig tree, instructing us to observe, to discern, and to understand the generation in which we live. The hidden timeline emerges when we connect the signs Jesus describes with the world today. Wars, famines, false prophets, and global unrest are the leaves of the fig tree, signaling that the season is upon us. The challenge is to watch spiritually, not just physically, recognizing these signs as markers in his divine schedule. The parable of the workers in the vineyard also carries timing significance. Workers come at different hours, yet each receives the reward according to the master's plan. Jesus uses this story to reveal that readiness and reward are aligned with his timing, not human expectations. The rapture will occur at the perfect moment determined by him. Those who are alert and faithful will be gathered, while others, caught off guard, will be left behind. Even in prophetic statements, Jesus layers meaning. He speaks of tribulation, deception, and the increasing love of many growing cold. Each prophecy contains markers, intervals, and cues to prepare his followers. The key is spiritual discernment, reading his words not superficially but as instructions, warnings, and guides. Hidden in his teaching is a timeline, the order of events, the moments of preparation, and the suddenness of the rapture itself. By studying these parables and prophecies carefully, we begin to see the rhythm of his plan, the pattern he established, and the urgency of living ready for his return. Part 3. Sequential signs. Jesus' roadmap. Before the rapture. Now that we have built the foundation and uncovered the hidden clues, we can begin to see the sequential signs that mark the path toward the rapture. Jesus did not leave his followers to guess the timing. In Matthew 24 and Luke 21, he provides a clear roadmap of events, describing what will unfold before his coming. These are not random occurrences. They follow a divine order, a rhythm that reveals the timeline for those who are watching. Each sign is a marker, a checkpoint in the journey toward the glorious moment when believers will be caught up to meet him in the air. The first set of signs begins with wars, rumors of wars, and global unrest. Jesus tells us that nations will rise against nations, kingdoms against kingdoms. These conflicts are not just political, they are spiritual markers, signaling that the stage is set for the final events. As we watch the news and see these tensions unfold, we must remember that these are not merely human events. They are the footsteps of prophecy moving toward fulfillment. Next, natural disasters become significant markers. Earthquakes in various places, famines and pestilences are all indicators that the timeline is advancing. They are like signposts along the road, reminding us that the world is moving toward the appointed hour. False prophets and deception increase as part of the sequence. Jesus warns that many will come in his name, claiming to be the Messiah, and many will be led astray. This spiritual deception is a key sign because it tests the faith of believers. It separates those who are watching and discerning from those who are complacent. Spiritual coldness in the church, another sign Jesus emphasizes, shows the moral and spiritual decay that precedes the final gathering of the faithful. The love of many growing cold is not just an observation, it is a marker in his divine timeline. What is crucial to understand is that these signs are cumulative. They are not isolated incidents. They form a sequence that reveals the progression toward the rapture. Each event aligns with the others, creating a pattern that attentive believers can recognize. The timing is precise in God's plan, and the unfolding of these signs is a reminder that the rapture is imminent. By understanding this sequence, we can prepare spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, standing ready for the moment when Jesus calls his own. The roadmap is there. It is hidden in plain sight in his words, waiting for the spiritually alert to follow. Part 4. The silent interval. The hidden period before the rapture. Between the signs and the culmination of the rapture, Jesus describes a silent interval, a period often overlooked but deeply significant. This is a time of apparent peace, a quiet before the storm, a hidden period where the world may seem normal, but spiritually, crucial work is happening. The church is being tested, the faithful are being refined, and the timeline is moving forward, though unseen by many. Jesus warns that this interval is a time to remain vigilant, to keep lamps burning, and to maintain spiritual readiness. This silent period is not an empty time. Spiritually, it is a season of preparation. Believers are called to strengthen their faith, to grow in understanding, and to deepen their relationship with Jesus. The parables often point to this interval. The 10 virgins waiting, the faithful servants watching. During this time, God's hidden work is advancing, unseen by the world, but vital for the fulfillment of the rapture. It is a period of testing, of endurance, and of vigilance. Those who become complacent risk missing the moment, while those who stay alert are rewarded. The hidden interval also emphasizes God's sovereignty. He allows a period of seeming delay to accomplish his purposes, spiritual growth, purification, and preparation. It is a reminder that his timing is perfect and that what appears silent is actually filled with divine action. Jesus uses this period to teach patience, faithfulness, and the importance of constant readiness. He cautions that the day and hour of the rapture are unknown, but the sequence and signs leading to it are clear for those who watch. During this time, believers are to discern spiritual truths, study his words, and live in expectation. The quiet interval is a test of character, faith, and obedience. It is a time to align every aspect of life with his will, to ensure that when the trumpet sounds, we are ready. The hidden period is a sacred moment in the timeline, designed to separate the watchful from the weary, the faithful from the indifferent. Understanding this interval brings clarity and urgency. It prepares our hearts, sharpens our spiritual vision, and positions us for the moment when Jesus will act suddenly, decisively, and gloriously. Part 5. The Final Hour. Jesus' Countdown and the Rapture. Finally, we arrive at the moment Jesus spoke about with urgency, the final hour before the rapture. This is the moment when the hidden timeline reaches its climax, when all the preparation, signs, and intervals converge into a single divine act. Jesus emphasized the suddenness of this hour, warning that it would come unexpectedly, like a thief in the night. Matthew 24:44 tells us, "Therefore you also must be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect." The rapture is not just an event, It is a divine interception of time, a moment when the faithful are gathered into the presence of Christ, forever transformed and victorious. The sequence leading to this hour is precise. The trumpet will sound, and the dead in Christ will rise first. Those who are alive and watching will be caught up together with them to meet the Lord in the air. This event is instantaneous, a supernatural gathering that surpasses human understanding. It is both the fulfillment of promise and the culmination of prophecy. Jesus' words reveal that timing is exact, orchestrated by divine wisdom. Nothing happens by accident. The sequence of signs, the hidden intervals, and the readiness of his followers all align to this ultimate moment. The rapture is also a revelation of hope. For the faithful, it is the fulfillment of Jesus' promise that they will not experience the full wrath of the coming tribulation. It is a call to live in spiritual alertness, to cultivate faith, and to maintain obedience. Jesus' countdown is not meant to incite fear, but to inspire action. Those who understand the timeline know the urgency of readiness, the importance of living in alignment with His will, and the joy of anticipating the moment when they will be united with Him. In the final hour, every prophecy, every parable, and every warning reaches its purpose. The world may be engulfed in turmoil, but the faithful are caught up in glory. The rapture is sudden, miraculous, and precise, a direct fulfillment of Jesus' words hidden in plain sight, waiting for those who watch and listen to understand. This moment is both a warning and an invitation to be vigilant, to remain faithful, and to embrace the hope of being gathered with Christ. Conclusion. Living in expectation. As we reflect on the rapture timeline hidden in Jesus' words, the message is clear. He has given us everything we need to recognize the signs, prepare our hearts, and live in readiness. From His warnings and promises to the hidden clues in parables, the sequential signs and the silent intervals, every word points to a divine timeline designed to awaken, prepare, and encourage His followers. The rapture is not a distant, abstract idea. It is imminent, precise, and promised. Living in expectation means embracing vigilance, faith, and obedience. It means studying His words carefully, watching the world through the lens of prophecy, and maintaining a heart ready for His coming. Jesus' timeline is a call to action, to align every part of our lives with His will, and to live with hope, not fear. It is a reminder that the faithful are always rewarded, and that the moment of gathering will come suddenly, transforming our lives forever. So let this be a time of preparation, a time to strengthen your faith, and a time to watch. Jesus' words are not just stories, they are a roadmap, a timeline, and a promise. The rapture is coming, and those who understand the hidden signs will be ready to meet Him. Stand firm, watch diligently, and live each day in expectation. The countdown is real, the sequence is unfolding, and the glory of the rapture awaits those who remain faithful.